In the past video, we saw that Yuya had just saved a girl who appeared to be a noble in that new world he discovered. Today, we will see the continuation of this incredible story. But before that, as usual, make sure to hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, show us some love and subscribe, okay? Let's go to the recap. Today's video starts with Yuya wondering how the girl he saved is doing, but he doesn't worry much because he saw soldiers coming to help her. He sets that aside and realizes that he has few clothes left now that he has lost weight, so he decides to go shopping now that he has plenty of money. He goes to the mall, and as usual, wherever he goes, he attracts people's attention, especially girls. After that, it is shown that a modeling agency is having trouble, as the boy model, who was supposed to participate in the shoot is very late, and the chief photographer decides to look for someone in the mall to replace the guy who is running late. You already know what's going to happen from now on. The photographer and his team go around the mall looking for someone to replace the boy. Meanwhile, Yuya is having a hard time choosing clothes. While he picks some clothes, two girls approach and ask if he is available now. They say they can accompany him if he wants. Yuya gets nervous and declines, but in a way that makes the girls smitten with him. They become completely paralyzed, and Yuya leaves. As he continues, the photographer bumps into him while going down the escalators. Upon looking at Yuya, he decides that he will be the perfect model. He explains the situation to Yuya, and seeing that many people depended on those photos, Yuya decides to help, even though he's not very skilled at it. The girl who participates with him in the photos tries to teach him and calms Yuya down. Yuya finds her amazing and decides to give his best not to fall behind. They continue, but Yuya remains embarrassed as they have to stay very close to each other. Meanwhile, the anime shows us that girl Yuya saved in the forest of the other world. She seems to have recovered and remembers Yuya. She decides to go out and reunite with him, saying that she has the obligation to thank him for saving her life. The guards try to warn her of the danger, but she insists, and they have no choice but to comply with her requests. After that, we return to the mall, and Yuya and the girl take a break. They start talking, and Yuya begins to cough. She offers him a handkerchief, but he says he doesn't need it. He continues talking to her and admiring how she makes everything look so easy, something that was very difficult for him. Yuya asks her why she became a model. She says that since she was young, her parents worked a lot and didn't pay much attention to her. Being a model was a way for them to pay more attention to her. At that moment, the boy who was supposed to be the model appears. All the girls in the mall know him and scream for him. He says he's late because he drank too much the previous day. He approaches Myu, the girl, and tells them to finish the photo session quickly. Then, he corners her against the wall. Yuya sees that she is uncomfortable and decides to defend her, telling the guy that she is not enjoying this. The boy gets angry and tries to punch Yuya. Yuya simply gives him a knockout blow, and the guy falls to the ground. Yuya panics, as the boy is quite famous. But contrary to what he thought, the girls who were watching start cheering for him. The playboy gets indignant, claims he does boxing and got defeated. At that moment, the photographer says he filmed everything and that if the guy didn't want to end his career, he should leave immediately. So, the guy leaves with his tail between his legs. After that, Myu thanks Yuya for protecting her from him. She also says that lately, he has been stalking her, and she didn't know what to do. After that, the photographer asks Yuya if he would like to pursue a modeling career since he has a talent for it. Yuya politely thanks him and says that he learned a lot that day, but he thinks he is not ready for it yet and must decline for now. After that, the photographer gives him a bunch of new clothes as payment for the job he did. He says he would like to pay in cash, but since Yuya is not signed with any agency, it's complicated. Yuya tries to refuse but ends up accepting. Then he leaves. Later on, he decides to go to the other world and train a bit. At that moment, we are shown that the princess and her soldiers were attacked while searching for Yuya. And again, Yuya appears and saves them. He defeats monster after monster with amazing ease. After he finishes, he begins to treat the wounded, and the princess comes to talk to him. She says she came because there was something she wanted to tell him. And out of nowhere, absolutely out of nowhere, she asks you guys to subscribe and leave that like, subscribe, come on. Actually, she asks Yuya to marry her. The leader of the knights asks her what on earth she's thinking, and she says it was obviously a marriage proposal. He says he noticed that, but wants to know why on earth she would ask someone she had never seen in her life to marry her. She starts arguing with her guard, and Yuya interrupts, saying that if they stay there any longer, they would be attacked by monsters again. He invites them to his house, and he also mentions that his house is in that forest. They are impressed that someone lives there, as that forest is known for having many monsters and being very inhospitable. Upon arrival, they introduce themselves. The guard is named Owen and serves the girl, who is named Lexia von Arcelia, the princess of the Arcelia kingdom. She thanks him again for saving her and her soldiers. Yuya, upon learning that she is a princess, gets a bit nervous and apologizes for his manners. He introduces himself. They find his name very strange, as it's uncommon for that world. The soldier tells Yuya that the king, Lexia's father, would like to have an audience with him in person to properly thank him for saving his daughter. But he says that Yuya would need 5 days for that. Yuya then says it will take him those 5 days, as it will be during the Golden Week, a kind of holiday in Japan. Owen, the guard, says that's not a problem. As soon as he can, he should go to meet the king. After that, they leave, and the princess says that next time, she will win his heart. Yuya returns and goes to school. As expected, wherever he goes, he attracts the attention of girls, who are smitten with him. He arrives at school and speaks to the student council president, who wishes him a good time at school. He is introduced to the class again. After that, Yuya and a girl watch as some boys play soccer. Yuya finds it amazing. At one point, a boy kicks the ball very hard, and the ball would hit Keed, the girl, next to him. But before it reaches her, Yuya makes a crazy move Ala Ibrahimovic and scores a spectacular goal from far away. After saving her and everyone being shocked, he asks if she's okay. And at that moment, another girl falls for Yuya. This guy could have the whole school if he wanted. The boy who kicked the ball comes to apologize to Keed, and she says it's fine, because Yuya didn't let her get hurt. After that, Yuya is shown in the classroom. Downstairs, Keed waves at Yuya during physical education class. And at that moment, a gang of bikers called Red Ogre Gang invades the school and starts causing trouble. Cory steps in and tells them to leave because the police will soon arrive. At that moment, Yuya's sly brother and sister appear, and they say they called that gang to get revenge because Cory invited their idiot brother and made fun of them. Cory again says the police are coming, but they say it will take a while for them to arrive, and in the meantime, they can cause a big mess and even kidnap her. Upon seeing this, Yuya thinks of going to save her, but remembering all those years of bullying and suffering, he starts to hesitate. But he regains his consciousness and goes to save her. He opens the window and simply jumps from the 4th floor. Down below, he runs towards Cory. The gangsters attack him, but he easily dodges and deals with all of them easily. He reaches Cory and asks if she's okay. She confirms, and quickly one of the thugs comes at him with his motorcycle trying to hit Yuya. But unfortunately for him, Yuya dodges all his attacks. After that, he strikes with force, and the motorcycle explodes. The police arrive and arrest the criminals. Yuya goes to see how Cory is, and she kind of loses strength and almost falls, but our hero catches her. After that, the leader of the Red Ogre Gang gets angry with Yuya's brother since they were all arrested because of him and grabs him by the neck. But before he could harm him, Yuya arrives to save his brother. After being rescued, his brother asks why he did that, as he had mistreated Yuya for years. Yuya responds that it's true he went through painful moments because of them, but he simply can't forget his family. And at that moment, his 2 brothers start to cry emotionally. After that, he meets his classmates who congratulate him and say that what he did was really amazing. And that's how today's video ends. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and leave that awesome like to support us. And finally, as always, I've got an incredible video for you telling the story of Cain, a boy who was reborn in another world with incredibly strong powers and suddenly ends up having 2 fiancées. At only 10 years old. Go check it out, it's sensational. Alright, see ya.